Thank you for the opportunity to discuss the Public Works budget, which is comprised of both General Fund and Road Fund. The Public Works General Fund team is comprised of 1 supervisor, 3 full-time technicians, 2 seasonal technicians, and 30% of both the Public Works Director and Office Manager. This team is supplemented with 7 volunteer hosts at Tucker, Tollbridge, and Panorama Parks. This team manages and supports the parks, buildings, and Pioneer Cemetery. The landfill is managed by our road division. For our buildings, we are responsible for the courthouse, administration, health department, museum, and Adopt-A-Dog. The county owns 2 facilities managed by others where our team provides support. These are the OSU Extension and Mount Hood Town Hall. The Justice Court in Cascade Locks is a lease space, and this team supports that site as well. For the parks, the day-use parks we manage are Ruthton, Oak Grove, Panorama, and the Powerdale Natural Area, which includes both the Powerhouse and Copper Dam sites. The campgrounds we manage are Tollbridge and Tucker campgrounds and their associated day-use areas. We also maintain the Pioneer Cemetery and landfill. Hood River County Parks revenue includes RV funds through RV vehicle registration. These funds are diminishing due to the additional administrative cost prior to the county receiving them. Additionally, the campgrounds at Tollbridge and Tucker Campground receive approximately $400,000 annually in camping fees. For fiscal year 2027, we have received an Oregon Parks grant to complete a campground master plan, ADA transition plan, and receive recommendations on how the parks can be more fiscally sustainable without supplementing with general funds. Recent park successes include installing a motorized gate at the Powerdale entrance, updating camp host agreements, and having hosts year-round at the campgrounds and Panorama. An RFP is currently out from the Hood River Watershed Group for engineering to remove the powerhouse within the Powerdale Natural Area. Overall improvements to our parks and campgrounds have been seen system-wide in the past 2 years. A snapshot of deferred maintenance at the parks include the Panorama Host House deck failure, inability to use the office at Tucker Park, lack of upgrades at Tollbridge Camp House. The infrastructure within the park system is nearing the end of the life, including buildings, piping, etc. Hood River County building revenue includes the leasing of roof space and office space. Both of those are realized in another general fund division. Other revenue sources include rebates from Energy Trust when repairing failed and failing systems with energy efficient options. The Mount Hood Town Hall Solar Project grant revenue is anticipated in fiscal year 2026, and we are actively working with state and federal legislators to provide courthouse maintenance, planning, and design funding. No additional funding is anticipated for this fiscal year. Recent building successes include the conclusion of some deferred maintenance projects, including the repair and replacement of the roof, caulking, and painting, removal of a hazard tree, and sidewalk patching at the health department. This was paid for through a grant obtained by the health department. Additionally, the health department received updated lighting to LED funded by the Energy Trust of Oregon. Upgrades of HVAC systems throughout county buildings include the courthouse, museum, administration. Significant effort is needed to complete HVAC needs throughout the buildings. Significant building maintenance and upgrades are still needed throughout the county. The current proposed budget does not allow for failure of any systems. Current deferred maintenance include the roofing at the courthouse, administration building, and public works, and the museum is likely needed soon. The courthouse, administration, and health department are all in need of new windows. The courthouse and administration building need significant upgrades to the facade of the building. Additional deferred maintenance has been identified in all the buildings, both internal and external. The landfill is managed by our road maintenance team and paid for through general fund reimbursement by the road fund. This landfill is a closed landfill and is run through a mechanical system requiring significant operation and maintenance time. There are no known revenue sources for the landfill, but we are evaluating staff capacity to find, apply, and manage grant opportunities. We've seen challenges in the landfill in December and again in March, where leachate exited the system and entered a downstream creek. This creek is where Crystal Springs Water District has a water right to extract potable water, drinking water. In December, a significant landslide filled the lower pond and surrounding area, sucking debris into pump, damaging floats, and cut electricity to the site. Additional repairs are needed to fully repair the site. Due to this condition, the capital project to modernize the system was removed from the budget that's being proposed. Deferred capital projects due to the budget cuts include improvements to the landfill alarm and notification and the expansion of the lower pond to allow for more response time in case of emergency. Included in this budget is the required maintenance, monitoring, and reporting as noted through the DEQ and repairs from the December floods. The Public Works Road Fund staffing includes 9 full-time road maintenance, 2 seasonal road maintenance, full-time vehicle maintenance, 1 vehicle seasonal, 2 engineering staff, 2 survey staff that are currently through an IGA with Wasco County, which is 50% supplemented by the public land corner preservation fee and forestry. 1 full-time surveyor is in the budget for next year, and 2 staff members are covered at 70% by the road fund, the public works director, and office manager. This team manages 190 road centerline miles, 27 bridges, 2 of which are weight restricted and 3 are on a not to maintain list, 3,500 culverts, 250 plus pieces of equipment and vehicles. We complete all building sign-off, process all invoices and payments for public works, parks, and buildings. We manage the public land corners, review and file survey, and approve land divisions. Currently, the road fund revenue includes $2.6 million in state highway fund, which is collected through the state through vehicle licensing and gas tax. After funds are carved out for the administration and specialty projects and programs, this money is split 50% to ODOT, 30% to counties, and 20% to cities. This is allocated by the number of registered vehicles in the county, and there's no revenue benefit due to the high level of tourism in our community. Federal authorizations through state pass-through or direct allocation is about $600,000 with secure rural schools and about $450,000 without that authorization. Total revenue fund is about $3.1 million a year and is diminishing each year due to the increase in fuel-efficient vehicles. About $2.4 million is anticipated in staffing costs in fiscal year 27, along with a general fund transfer of over $550,000. The road fund is dipping into reserves, nearly $2 million, and some savings have been realized due to the inability to effectively hire due to wage concerns. If the state highway fund passes the voters, Hood River County could see an increase of $1 million. However, that increase is not anticipated. Further cuts to the budget would mean cutting of service and consulting work out. This fund can only be used on county-maintained roads. Hood River County is a maintenance-only organization, focusing on chip seal, weed maintenance, ditching, snow and ice management, and management of equipment. There is no available funding budgeted in fiscal year 27 for capital projects. Hood River County is actively applying for grants and advocating for additional revenue to replace bridges and create an asset management program. Some recent successes in the past fiscal year include the completion of road preparation on Clear Creek and Cooper Spur roads. That work is done in advance of this year's chip seal season. We've also completed the maintenance of gravel roads, ditching, mowing, and spraying. We've maintained vehicles for both winter, spring, and have surplused several vehicles. Recent challenges include significant rainfall events in both December and March. The lack of snow and ice response did not lead to savings due to the staff being diverted to flood emergency and cleanup. Additionally, during those storms, 2 staff members were hurt. And by the numbers, 5 employees are needed to run the striping truck or ditching operations. 14 are needed to run the chip seal operation, pulling in the entire vehicle maintenance team to assist. This year, we're also going to be coordinating with Wasco County to run our distributor truck. We need 10 to effectively manage the snow, running 12-hour operations. Additional revenue that is included in this budget cycle is the grant award of the County Opportunity Grant to complete the Campground Master Plan. This plan will identify some improvements that could be made at county campgrounds or other park facilities that could be converted into county campgrounds, and determining how parks could be more revenue neutral and not further drain county general fund. Although this will not be actualized in the current county budget, we are actively working with partners to complete the design to remove the powerhouse. This design is fully paid through by grants obtained by the Hood River Watershed Group and the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs. This improvement will benefit parks and other offices within the county, leaving the park in a safer condition for residents and visitors. For the buildings, we are actively working with our state and federal delegates to assist in funding non-mandated services, requesting funding to continue planning to replace county courthouse and one-time requests for maintenance. We're also working with Energy Trust to obtain rebates when replacing outdated or failed systems. For the road fund, we are actively working with our state and federal delegates and through the Association of Oregon Counties to create a comprehensive funding source to continue to fund county roads. We are also actively applying for grants to replace not to maintain bridges and planning grants to complete asset management, ADA transition, and capital improvement plans. Recommended funding opportunities for all funds include continuing to advocate with state and federal legislatures to fully fund mandated services. For the parks, during the master plan, we anticipate proposals will include accepting reservations at campgrounds and extending the reservation system to day use areas and charging for special use permits. For the buildings, revenue could come through grants, bond, levy, and/or tax. For the road fund, Hood River County needs to continue its legislative work to increase state highway fund and direct federal allocation. A vote by the people would be needed to increase revenue in gas tax or vehicle registration specific to Hood River County. If that were to pass, a share would be needed to be given to the cities. A utility fee could be implemented and charged to utilities for work within the right-of-way. The utility fee could not be at full cost recovery. Park and building implementation challenges include that there's currently not enough staffing to perform additional projects. Those staff are performing maintenance activities only. Only 1 FTE is available within our team to maintain buildings. A large deferred maintenance list makes the cost to repair and replace higher. There may be staffing challenges if large-scale improvements are funded. For the road fund grants, many of these grants require ODOT to administer the project and require significant match. Overall challenges within the road fund include key staff retirements within 3 years and limited succession planning. Thank you once again for the opportunity to present on the current Public Works budget.